How's the first few days going for you?
It's going good, man. But it's one day at a time. Thank you for letting me know it's Sunday because we really don't know what day it is. We're just focusing on one day at a time.
What's it like learning a new offense with getting sort of limited reps? Does it make it harder?
It's fun learning a new offense because it keeps you in the curious mode. You're asking consistent questions. You're asking, hey, what does this look like? You're asking for clips. Like, how does this look versus this coverage? So I love that, and it just brings out the little kid in me again. Sometimes when you get that continuity, you always thinking about the next step, and you don't get to focus on just the basics, especially when you're installing. So now, as camp is installing, I get to learn the basics, and as camp prolongs, I will continue to learn. Like, okay, now this is why we're making this transition. This is why we're adding this little route to the specific concept.
Do you have any familiarity with Dave's system and whatnot?
Yeah, so it's a blessing because last year when Ken Dorsey came over to Cleveland, he had very similar concepts for the most part, not as original as Dave's system, but he had different snippets and different schemes, different words and stuff over there at Cleveland.
What do you make of Dave's? What's your impression?
Man, I love who Brian DeBoll is, and just a man that he is, the communicator that he is. He's very present with all of us. And to this point, he holds the rookie accountable just like he holds the 16-year vet accountable. And in terms of as a leader, that's what a group of men and group of women, that's what we want to see out of our leader, not picking sides or choosing who he wants to get on, but holding everybody to that standard and being honest.
Jameis, this seemed to be one of Jackson's better days on the field. I was wondering, you remember when you were a younger quarterback, is there an aha moment or like where things start to make sense in a way? Because I imagine it can be kind of flooding at times.
Yeah, I think that comes with just continuity of learning the offense and also confidence. When you first get out there, your confidence might be high because of the blessings and the talents that God has given you, but it's not as high as it's executing the offense. And I think Jackson is developing that execution state of his confidence because he got confidence. He's swagged out, he's chill, he's cool as a cucumber. But, however, man, reps matter. Like when you out there and you getting 4 or 5 reps at a time, and the way that Dave's is doing it, he throwing us out there and then pulling us out there, like it's creating a great chaos for him to learn this scheme and to be on his toes. So I think it's helping his learning curve a lot faster.
That part you the other day when you drove the team down the field and then he trots out.
Man, I'm used to it. If you remember in New Orleans, Taysom Hill, I used to drive the team all the way down the field, and Taysom Hill used to come in and run quarterback power and score a touchdown. So I was like, hey, like Jackson is Taysom Hill. Well, Taysom from Idaho, but Jackson from Utah. I was like, it's that Utah connection. Like every time I have a good drive, like they're gonna take me out and put a kid from Utah in to come score a touchdown. No, man, like he needs those reps. He needs those red zone reps. I'd have been in the red zone a lot, and that was a good drive. I knew I was gonna end up in the end zone, so it allowed me to visualize myself being in the end zone again.
Jameis, there was a play earlier in the week. I don't know if it was the first or second day. You guys were on air. You were going through, with some of the younger guys in a route. Someone ran a route and they bobbed the ball and dropped it, and you were on him like it was third quarter, week 1 of the season. I'm not saying you were all demonstrative, but you could tell you wanted to let him know that's not acceptable.
Yes.
Is that a part of your personality, do you think, that is coming out here the further you guys are getting into camp?
Well, I want everyone to be intentional in all that we do. And I want everyone, just like Dave's, to hold all of us accountable. That was a conversation that I had with the receivers, just like, hey, I was working man. I was like, hey, no, it's zone. If I'm man, I'm gonna alert you. And he was like, oh, no, but I'm working man. I was like, hey, I got you, but I need you here. And even if you're working man, I need your eyes. We got to be able to play with our eyes when we're running these routes, especially routes where we have an option, because the ball can be out. We don't know if freaking Kayvon Thibodeau is about to come and knock my head off and I get the ball out. So those small things are things that have to be like stressed, especially in walkthrough tempo, because sometimes in walkthrough you kind of ease up. You get comfortable. You're like, oh, man, I don't got to play fast. I don't got a defense in front of me. But I stress with the young guys, like, those reps are just as important as the real reps out there on the field.
Jameis, you've always been a very explosive quarterback, but the knock has been the interceptions and stuff. How do you manage that, and what in Daboll's system maybe You know, obviously you're a confident guy that can get the ball. You think you can get the ball in any window. How do you work that to try to lessen the turnover?
The biggest thing is just the decision making. Like, what is the decision? I'm not a outcome based quarterback. It's like, what is the decision? If I threw an interception, was the decision right? Right? If I threw an incompletion, was the decision right? And don't worry about the outcome. Sometimes the outcomes can overweigh a lot of the stuff, and people can have it. But what is my decision? If my decision is good, we can learn from that and we can grow from that.
James, what did you see on the check you made? I think it was to basically a touchdown to Bryce Ford Wheaton, right? You checked it, looked like twice. What did you see?
I saw cover 0, and I was like, okay, I gotta get it out route, meaning I got a route that's good on my right side, but I needed some help on the left side to protect myself up and get a quick answer in case they dropped up under my touchdown route to the right side. So I just saw pressure, and it was third, and we jumped off sides. It really shouldn't have been off sides. I told them double cadence in the huddle, but we jumped off sides, moved back, and we overcame it. So it was good. Yeah.
Does it
Thanks,
matter
Pat.
to you? Does it matter to you on third team reps, second team reps? I know there's obviously it's a rookie quarterback, so they have to get him reps. How do you look at that when you're taking third team, second team? Does it matter?
I look at it as like, man, this is my opportunity. Let me go out there and make the most out of my opportunity. And that's something that the coaches stress. Like, because no matter if you're a quarterback, no matter if you the third team cornerback, when you out there, it's not, oh man, it's not like being in the baseball dugout and they saying like, hey, DH, like you come in, is the DH gonna say, oh man, I didn't get a chance to go down to the cages and hit some balls. Like, no, you gotta get in there and you gotta do your job. No matter if you've seen pitches, no matter if you had previous reps, no matter if you're cold, like you gotta go out there and take advantage of your opportunity. That's what this league is.
Do you look at it as if you're in a battle for the backup quarterback role?
I look at it as I'm in a battle for my life, man. Every time I'm taking a play out there, like I'm making the most of that opportunity.
James, when you were first training camp, I'm sure there were moments you probably felt overwhelmed. Does that kind of have you, first of all, what were those moments like for you? And does it give you some empathy for maybe what Jackson's facing as he's going through his first training camp?
Yeah, the biggest thing is like, okay, like what can I learn from those moments? Meaning they're like, okay, what made me feel this way? And why am I feeling this way? And I learned that early on. I understood. Jimbo Fisher's always talk about, like, Jameis, know the whys. But when you focus on the why so much, sometimes you overanalyze things and you lose just the natural ability to go out there and play smooth, think light. And he also said this term, I forgot his name, a great motivation speaker said, see a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing. So when you're focusing on the big grand scheme of things, you lose sight of the most important things. But when you focus on just those small things, okay, how's my footwork? You know what I'm saying? Like, was my cadence good? Was my operation good? Like, was my communication good? Instead of like, oh my God, like it was a bad pass and oh man, it was behind the guy. Like what technique wise, what are the specifics that go into that feeling? So now I'm not overwhelmed because it's different coverages and like I'm learning the playbooks is growing over. I'm focusing on like, okay, how's my footwork? You know what I'm saying? How is my execution? How is my communication? And that allows me to just focus on those small things and not get caught up with all the big things.
And is that helping you kind of? Is it helping you kind of give advice to Jackson? With
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. That's what I tell him. I tell him it's one day at a time. Like the NFL is the only league where yesterday and tomorrow literally don't matter. Like even practices. Like it's been times where you could be, I feel like week 1 is always the funniest week because week 1 you have so many people coming, oh, this team is about to win the Super Bowl, and then the next week they lose. Oh, that team sucks. That team is a pretender. Like all that different type of stuff. And I tell them all the time, like, hey man, like it's a new day. Be grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? Like be glad and rejoice in it. Because literally, that's the NFL. One play at a time, one day at a time, and that's all you can focus on.
What do you make?
Sorry, go ahead. There's a lot of quarterbacks who want to make explosive plays, but don't, maybe in practice try it enough. What does it take as a quarterback to stay confident enough to try to push the ball down the field as often as you've been able to?
I think it's the will. It's the will to do it. It's a lot of plays where it's touchdown and check down mentality. It's a lot of plays where you got a man beater and it's just a matchup. Like, did the guy win or not? But I think you have to be able to stress the defense and have the defense on their heels, and that's why you just have to get the little dinks and dunks in front. Like the challenging part is when you're having fun, dicing up a defense and taking those shots is being okay with 2 yards, with 3 yards, with 5 yards, and etc.
I was just gonna ask what you make of the playbook.
No, the playbook is amazing. I was blessed that I experienced some of it conceptually with Ken Dorsey last year in Cleveland. But man, it's old school New England Patriots and new school 2017 Alabama Crimson Tide and Buffalo Bills. So those are some good teams. So I'm just excited to be working with Cav and learning and Shea and learning just the basics of this offense.